Hello everyone, and welcome to the Daily War Brief program. Today, a failed breach attempt by an American suspect has shaken the entire world. While Donald Trump was hosting reporters in Washington, sudden loud bangs were heard. At first, Trump thought it was just trays falling, but it turned out to be gunfire outside. Fortunately, the breach attempt failed and no one was injured. Trump himself was unharmed. U.S. security agents were hit by bullets, but luckily, the rounds struck their body armor, so they were safe. World leaders, upon hearing the news, were shocked. Normally, they may argue fiercely with Trump, but when they learned he was safe, they expressed relief and sent their well wishes. Interestingly, this time, the suspect was captured alive. As a result, many people are now waiting for interrogation and investigation results to understand the motive and how the suspect managed to bypass outer security. The event took place at 8 p.m., but the hotel had already been closed to the public since 2 p.m. So how did the suspect get through? Are there serious flaws in Trump's security system? Some journalists who fled the event later returned to their rooms on the 10th floor, only to realize that their rooms were right next to the suspects. Even more puzzling, it took 3 hours before bomb disposal units arrived. The hotel lobby, reportedly, had no metal detectors. If the suspect had planted explosives in the room, the consequences could have been severe. Many questions have been raised after this failed assassination attempt. According to initial statements, the suspect intended to target officials within Trump's administration. As for how he got through security, he had rented a room in the hotel, allowing him to use the elevator directly from his room to the basement and approach Trump. It is said that Trump himself had previously considered the security at this Washington hotel to be inadequate. Back in 1981, Ronald Reagan had also survived an assassination attempt at this same location. Trump was aware of this, but likely chose the venue due to its proximity, just a 10-minute drive from the White House. Despite being around 80 years old, Trump reacted extremely quickly. Right after the incident, he gave interviews and immediately criticized the Democratic Party for blocking his plan to build a ballroom in the White House. This stems from a previous dispute. Trump had called on wealthy friends and billionaires to fund the construction of a ballroom for hosting events. However, the Democrats opposed it, demanding that the building remain unchanged and that no modifications be made. Trump argued that the project would benefit the country and future presidents, and that he was not using taxpayer money, only private donations. He insisted that dismantling the partially built structure would actually waste public funds. After that argument, there had been little update until now. Following this assassination attempt, Trump quickly renewed calls to accelerate the ballroom construction. He pointed out that the event had 2,300 attendees, and very few hotels could accommodate such a large crowd safely. Managing security for such a large gathering is extremely difficult. He proposed integrating advanced technologies into the ballroom, such as anti-drone systems and bulletproof glass, to ensure maximum safety. According to him, an armed individual breaching security like this should be impossible. This incident, he argued, was already alarming, given that the suspect acted alone. If it had been a coordinated group attack, the consequences could have been far worse. At the same time, the situation also helped shape Trump's public image. He remained calm throughout, showing little visible reaction, and even wanting the event to continue. However, security forces insisted he evacuate due to concerns about further threats. Guests had already panicked and taken cover under tables, so continuing the event was no longer feasible. According to preliminary investigation, the suspect is a highly capable individual from California. He graduated from California Institute of Technology in 2017. For those unfamiliar, Caltech is one of the most selective institutions in the world, comparable to Harvard University or Stanford University. It admits only about 220 students per year. Applications can reach into the millions, but only around 10,000 are even reviewed. Applicants must have exceptional qualifications, high IELTS scores, SAT scores typically above 1,500, outstanding achievements, strong personal statements, and recommendation letters describing them as among the best students their teachers have ever taught. From those elite applications, only about 200 students are admitted. This alone shows how competitive the institution is. Despite its small size, Caltech has produced 49 Nobel Prize winners. Many of the greatest scientific minds have worked or taught there, such as Richard Feynman and Murray Gell-Mann. Even Albert Einstein had visited multiple times to lecture and collaborate. This is why Caltech is considered a sanctuary of science, small in size but extremely high in quality, with world-class faculty and brilliant students. The fact that the suspect studied and graduated from such an institution shows how capable he is. What's difficult to understand is why someone from the global intellectual elite with such strong technical skills would choose such a misguided path instead of working in major corporations where opportunities are abundant.